Well, hello and welcome to Wellness Wednesday with Kathy Stevens and, of course, the real star of the workout, the 60 Up board. I hope you guys are doing well today. Beautiful day here in California, Southern California. Not sure where you're from, but that's where I'm from. And I can see the sun out today. It's really, really nice. But we have a lot to cover, so let me get to it. And I'm checking in now to see if I can see you guys in my chat box because I know that Dan and I have had some issue with that, not too much. But let's give this a little try on my monitor. And today, because we are still right smack dab in the middle of Brain Body Connection Day, that's going to be my focus this whole month in honor of Brain Body Connection, which is what we're celebrating in April, along with so many other things. And what I'd like to do today, in today's workout, is focus on the aspect of coordinating the two hemispheres, the right and left hemisphere of the brain. I'm sure you all have seen a picture of the brain. I think I posted one, but you notice that there's kind of clumped on either side. And these two sides are so important for, hey, Pat, I can actually see comments today. I love that. These two sides of the brain are so important in communicating for everything, for all our physical, our coordination skills, our cognitive skills, and also just our state of being, how we're feeling, how clear we're thinking, and how, we feel throughout the day, emotionally, physically, cognitively. These two sides of the brain, they have to be able to communicate. So we're going to be doing specific exercises that help with that coordination. Did you know that it's actually, and I know I'm probably pointing to the wrong side of my head, but it's actually the left side of your brain, or the left hemisphere, that controls what goes on the right side of your body, and vice versa? Seems confusing? It is, and that is confusing sometimes to the brain. And that's why we can purposely try to smooth that out. Remember those old drills they used to do, like, I don't know, rubbing your belly and patting your head? These are all sensory exercises that help stimulate those two sides of the brain to work well together. Hey, Tanya, good to see you as well. Is it cold in Idaho? Oh my gosh, then I'm glad to be here in California because I'm not a lover of the cold. I hate to admit it. When it drops below 70, I start to complain and want the heater up. And then we've got Ildi, our Itty. I think I got it right this time. I hope so. Last week we talked about the fact that it's an I sound. So, ID, I bet. Wow, I hope I got it right. And Vicky, so good to have you. And to have you back doing your regular routine. I know you've been off board for a while, so I'm glad to get you back on board. So we're just discussing a little bit about performing movements that help build the bridge between the right and left hemisphere of the brain. It's actually allowing for electrical impulses that inform you and your body, that connection that we're celebrating this month, the connection between your brain and what goes on throughout your body. And you want that to pass freely between the right and left side of the brain because it's so essential for physical coordination as well as cerebral activities like learning language, reading, playing games, eye-hand coordination. All of that has to be communicated freely. So we know through mind-body science that we understand that physical coordination precedes cognitive coordination or cognitive learning. And that's why, and you maybe have read about this, how it's so important that they don't skip stages like crawling. Think about the crawling activity. We call it cross crawling. It's also known as cross lateral. So when a baby is on the ground, one hand comes up, right? Think about a baby crawling. Put yourself back in those days. And then the opposite knee moves forward as they're crawling, and then vice versa, right? You got one knee, you got one hand. They're they're sensing it through their palms, through their knees. And that sensation that cross crawl activity is creating is stimulating those hemispheres of the brain, which later they have now related to people's skills such as writing, on paper, such as reading. So we know that those activities precede the cognitive skills. And that's why we want our babies not to be pinned up. Remember in the old days, I don't know, probably not old days for us, in our day of raising kids, what did we do with them? We put them in a playpen because we didn't want them getting out from underneath us and into any danger. But we didn't realize we didn't give them much room to move and crawl. So nowadays, new moms, they're all about letting those babies go through all those skills. And many of them are what we'll call cross-lateral cross-crawl skills that they're recruiting. And so you say to yourself, well, I'm not a baby anymore. Do I really need that? But I want to go over a few things that happen when you use these movement skills as exercises. First of all, doing cross-lateral or cross-crawl activities stabilize your walking gait. Because what is walking gait? All right? If it's not just the next extension of crawling, you have one arm comes forward with the opposite knee. Remember that crawling activity? Put yourself on the ground and you see it's very similar. So cross-crawl activities and that brain stimulation or connection can lead to better walking gait. It also, for whatever reason, energizes your mind or calms your mind. So we know that sometimes we can kind of clear out the dust bunnies in the brain by purposefully focusing on these cross-crawl or these more complex patterns. Remember we talked about these things where you're really having to think, what's one side doing versus the other side? All right, so clears the brain and calms the brain, and we'll use some of that in our cool down. What else? It improves eye team skills. So your eye is always catching movement. Think of peripheral vision. How far before you can't see the hands anymore. Your eyes are always working out here and in here. So when you've got opposite actions happening, there is a bit of teaming that's going on in the eyes that you're not even thinking about. It's just a neural reactive thing that's happening that involves vision as well as body movement. So it's good for that. And in general, it enhances all things right, left brain. And we know also that we have more of a cognitive versus an emotional side. And so it helps it all work together. And last but not least, something that Dan and I know Debbie have talked about a lot is it improves proprioception. So what does that mean? Proprioception is your understanding, like closing your eyes and going, oh, I sense one shoulder is higher than the other. I can sense that. I feel it in space. Understanding your body without having to see it in a mirror. Knowing where you are. Oh, my head is too far forward. I can sense it. Well, learning to be able to sense any placement of any body part in space or during movement is improved when we do these types of activities. So I hope I've got you all fired up to do today's workout because that's our focus today. Cross-lateral movement. Off board, on board. Are you ready to get on board? Because we've got to get started. The hour sure goes fast when you're having fun. So I'm just going to check in again real quick. Let's see what we got here. I see that Vicky's in the house, as I said. Let me look down and see who else is checking in. Mary, nice to have you, and good morning to you as well. So I am going to come back for water breaks, all right? And I'm encouraging all of you to please have water nearby during the workout so that we can, stay in touch as well. And then what I'll be doing is when I come to get some water, hydrate up, I'll come over to my chat box, and check in with you guys since it's working today. That's always a good thing. All right. With that said, we're going to get up. We're going to warm up. We're going to cross lateral it out. We got Herbert is in the house and saying hi to Betsy. Did I miss you, Betsy? If so, welcome and thank you for joining me on Wellness Wednesday. Today is all about the big cross, the cross lateral training. So we're going to exit out right now. Let's get going. I'm going to put a little background music on and I will check. I definitely will check my board here to see if anybody says, whoa, too loud, Kathy. All right, let's get going. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Welcome to April, which is Brain and Body Connection Month. So we are connecting it from the hemisphere today, out in the hemispheres. All right, I'm going to talk up because I want to make sure that you hear me. One of the reasons, put your fingertips on your poles, stand tall. Think about head over shoulders, that kinesthetic awareness, that posture in space. Think about shoulders both being back and down. Think about pelvis being level, knees in the direction of the toes. Now just place the hands on top of the poles and start wiggling the fingers. And I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what it feels like. Now just do the right. Right only. Connect it. Now left only. Connect it. Now right and left. Good job. Just get your brain and body cross-wired. And now let's take and switch and cross and do the same thing. Here we go. Let's wake up those cobwebs, those communications between the right and left side of the body. Think about posture as you're doing this. Walk the cross. There we go, waking it up this morning. Nice tap, energizing those fingers. And now go ahead and bring the hands back, one on each, and let's wake up those feet. Rock and roll at the ankle. I also suggest that you always have a chair nearby, and if you're having any balance issues above and beyond norm, you might want to have it behind you slightly so that if you need to sit down at any time, you can. That's always something I encourage, is that you sit down when necessary. Now here's what I want you to do now. As you rock back, I want you to lift one hand. As you rock forward, I want you to lift the other. Oh boy, this is one of those rub your head or pat your head and rub your belly exercises. Up and back. Just let it flow. At first it might seem really awkward because you're like, what is she asking me to do? But think about it. Right arm goes up, toes go up, left arm goes up, heels go up. Here we go. Couple more. Just warming up those feet, warming up those shoulders. Last one. And then go ahead and leave the feet and heels down, and let's tap the right foot in and out, in and out, in and out. Now for those of you that have some issues with picking up those toes or even feeling those toes, just look down at it and focus on it. Even if it doesn't lift real high and you just feel your toes moving in your shoe, that's okay. And then bring your vision back to me, rotating in that hip if you're able to. And then let's do the other side, in and out. And remember what I told you earlier, if you were here in the beginning, it's the opposite hemisphere that controls the side you're moving. That's kind of wild, isn't it? In and out with those toes. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And now let's bring the feet back into line with the knees. And let's just sit back into our hips and warm up those leg muscles, those hip muscles. Bow over and extend. So from the side, I'm not really rounding my back. I'm letting all this movement happen at the hip joint. Good. And then again, just to keep that theme in line, I want you to bow back and bring one arm up, and then I want you to bow back and bring the other arm up. Thumbs up. Good. Reach up. Keep that spine nice and strong, well aligned. Pull up through the navel. Tighten the waistband. Stretch back into the hips. Take a nice deep breath as you do this. Let's do 4 more. This should feel good. It's a nice stretching sensation in the back of the body. Breathe. All right, let's do 1 more with each hand. I lost count. How about you? Last one. And then let's hold here. Now stand up on moving the left foot to the center. Bring the right knee up. Try to balance on that one foot, holding your poles. And then from here, we're going to kick forward and in, working through that quadricep. Now, for some of you, this might seem a little difficult this early, so just touch your board and bring it up. If extending it in front of you is requiring a little more balance than that ankle is used to, then ground it on the board. But if you can hinge that knee forward and back, keeping your chest up, nice. Now let's just connect a little bit to this. Let's raise that hand, the opposite hand off the pole. Oh boy, this is hard, so we'll just do 2 more. Last one. Woo. And don't be afraid. Go ahead and put that down and walk the feet out, because that's probably, you're feeling a lot on the stabilizing leg, right? Don't be afraid to let the ankle get a little off center, have a little wobble. It's okay. You're holding on to something. You're not going anywhere. That's your brain connecting and telling that ankle what it needs to do to keep you in place. All right, standing on the other foot now, center it up. Find your tightness in the side hip. Bring the other knee up. Hold on and give me a slow extension in and out. Hinge joint the knee forward and back. Stay tall. Once again, if this is too tough, just take and tap the board and then lift. Tap the board and lift. Either way is fine for me. And if you want to encourage a little bit more brain stimulation, let's take this hand, the opposite hand, and hover. Hover over that pole. How you doing? Boy, this is a lot to ask for so early in the workout, right? 2 more. And then last one, and let's come back down and just kind of take it wider, rock a little bit on the floor, ease some of that out. I was building tension in the stabilizing leg. Now let's just bend the knees side to side. I also always like when I'm on the floor to kind of push from toe to heel. So I let my heel drift up and then I press it down, and it kind of adds a nice little stretch to the arch of my foot and all those muscles between the toes. So spread your toes and grip the floor as you roll through. Knees and toes should be a little bit turned outward, just a bit. Okay, just a bit. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and then we're going to do 1 more, and we're going to stay to the left. Stay to the left. Now take this arm, the opposite arm, and we're going to just cross over and up. We're going to add a little spinal rotation on this. Thumb is leading. Pinky down, thumb up. Pinky down, thumb up. Adding a little rotation through the spine. Still crossing the midline. Opening up the chest and shoulder on the way back. Increasing mobility. Along with cross stimulation pattern. Here we go. 2 more. Nice. Last one. And then let's go ahead and lunge to the other side, taking the opposite arm, and do the same pattern. Pinky down, thumb back. Try to stay a little, my knee is extending a bit as I open my arm back, but I'm still keeping the majority of my weight over onto my right leg with the knee bent. My left leg, as you can see, is pretty straight, right? Take your time, inhale and exhale. Open up the chest and shoulder. Beautiful. Inhale, exhale. A couple more times. Warming up that body. Motion is lotion. Getting those joints nice and limbered up. 2 more. Last one. Awesome. All right, bring that arm back down. Toes are out, so let's pull the toes in towards each other and then let them go back out. Now, if you're too far out there, walk them in a little bit. We're just going to go windshield wipers in and out. And I want you to bend the knees a little bit, like a little plie squat, as they go out, and let them slowly start coming in. So they're kind of creepy. They are not creepy. They're creeping in and out, but they're coming closer every time. Almost like you're doing a ski move, you're snow plowing. There's the pizza. And now bring it in the center, feet to the center. Oh, and just ease it out. That should have felt really nice to the lower body. Now let's do our spinal rolls. I always like to wake up the spine in the morning. So roll through, keep going. I'm going to turn my music down just a bit, and you keep doing this rolling action. Just want to make sure it's not too loud. There we go. And I'm going to check in with you. I hope you're still rolling. Hi, Betsy. Awesome. Okay, are you still rolling? I was doing my little spot check just to make sure that nobody is saying, oh, your music's too loud. I like to find out before the class is over. Okay, here we go again. Couple of these, couple more. These feel so good, don't they? You can almost do them all day long. Flat back, roll. 2 more times. And then last one. Roll through, and then let's go to the neck. Now, I don't know if you caught my workout last week. Last week we were still working on the brain-body connection, but we really focused in on the different systems of the body and that work on balance and brain-body connection, the visual, the auditory, all the different things that the sense of touch, the somatotyping type of movements. And so if you missed that workout, it is up on YouTube, so do go there because it was a really nice workout for some of those things we take for granted, like trying to do things with your eyes closed, or do things to kind of stimulate the inner ear. All right, now back to the center, and just tilt it and then center it. Work from the feet up so your body feels awakened, warmed up, loosened up. Good. Feel the stretching on one side as you bend to the other side. And then bring yourself to the center. And let's just close our eyes for one quick second and sense where you are in space, like last week. Head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, knees in the direction of the toes. You can go ahead and open your eyes. All right, nice work. Okay, our first series is going to start with a slow marching action. So bring your feet in together and then just lift one foot and the other. And how high you lift is up to how you feel, what you're able to do. So at most parallel to floor, at least an inch off the floor. So whatever works for you, either bring that kneecap up to the parallel to floor position, or keep it a little lower and think about at least getting your toe off the floor by an inch. Now for those of you that have some loss of neurological connection to what's going on down at the feet, think, or a little drop foot, think higher than you think you should. So what is an inch, think 3 inches up, and maybe you'll hit the inch. All right, keep that spine up, keep that chin parallel to the floor, keep that slow march going on. Now we're gonna take, and we're gonna do 3 with a hold. So are you ready? Let's count it down. 3, 2, hold. Again, 3, 2, hold. Again, 3, 2, hold. Now we're going to add the arm. 3, 2, straight forward. 3, 2, try to let go with the opposite hand. Now again, this is really asking your brain to think, and it's asking your body to control and balance more. So if you don't feel comfortable letting go, just kind of hover the pole, or don't push on it so hard. Just have it a little bit, like think about a lighter sense of touch. Or if you're comfortable, start bringing it up a little bit higher towards the ceiling. If you're comfortable. 3, 2, oh, I did the wrong arm, didn't I? Haha. 3, 2, caught myself. Did you catch yourself? 3, you got to think about this. 2, opposite arm to me. 3, 2, 1, 3. How's your posture? 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Last one. 3. See, I didn't think, and then I got off track. Hold it. Now, from here, just extend the knee, bend the elbow, and do the opposite. Brain teaser, leg out, elbow back. Woo! Get that yet? 2 more, 1 more. Woo boy, good job. Other leg up. Can we do the brain teaser? Let's see, what did we do? Elbow bend, knee straightens. You got this. Yes, and even if you don't get it, just standing on that one leg is good balance, so modify this to fit you. 2 more. Last one. Relax. Good job. Shake it off a little bit for me, and then we're going to step on board. So we're going to take that up a notch. Same basic idea, right? Let's rock. So get yourself on 2 and 2 on the board. Rock side to side. So let's start with just the heel coming up on the side that is releasing. So in other words, the side you're not rocking towards. Heel up, heel up. Notice how that pops your knee forward. Think about that. Knee forward, heel up. So can we now do the same thing, 3 with a pause, and then add some arm pattern. Let's try it. 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, opposite. 3, 2, opposite. 3, 2, hold. 3, 2, hold. Good job. Rock, rock, arm out. Rock, rock, arm up. Is it still opposite to that front knee? Sometimes you gotta look, don't you? But then think about when you get it right, doing it without having to look, but sensing in your brain that it is right. 3, 2, 1. 3. Did you catch yourself doing it wrong? That's okay too. 3, 2. I never said this was easy. 3, 2. Now knee will come up. If you want to balance. Rock, rock, balance. Rock, rock, balance. You got it. Rock, rock, balance. Rock, rock, balance. Let's go a little wider. Balance. Rock, rock, balance. Rock. How's that feel? Balance. Off, side, lift. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now remember, this isn't about getting your heart rate up like I do in some workouts. It's not about tremendous strength build like I do in some workouts. It's about cross-lateral stimulation for the brain, exercising that brain-body connection, right? Good. 2 more. Cross, side, lift. Cross, side, lift. All right, good. Bring it back and rock it out. Good job. Very nice. So I want you to stay wide. Let's just rock for a second. And just get that body flow going. Sense that bend of the knee from the wide position. Let's try again, just a little bit more of a brain activity. Push into the toes of the side that you're going into. So really kind of like scrunch your toes down in your shoes. So if you're going towards the left, scrunch left. If you're going towards the right, scrunch right. Think toes, toes, toes. Now, let's take and scrunch or squeeze the opposite handle. Think about that for a second, right? So left, see if you can do this. Toes, fingers, toes, fingers. Opposite side of the body though, right? Oh, I lost mine. Left hand, right foot, right hand, left foot. Come on, push the toes. Squeeze the handle. So I should see your fingers squeezing on the opposite side that you're rocking towards. Come on, you've got this. Toes down into the board, fingers into the poles. Feel it in your brain. Feel it in your brain. Here you go. Energize. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and clear it out. All right, don't worry about that. Just wiggle it out. Wiggle the fingers. Push fast. Ooh, that took a lot of focus, didn't it? But it's those exercises that bring you mental clarity. Breath of fresh air for the right and left hemisphere of the brain. Good work. All right, now from here, we're going to step back down, step off, and let's get some water. we've been going a good 20 minutes, so I want everybody to check in with me. I'm just going to come over to my chat box and see. Vicki, I'm so glad you are back. I know you had written me early. You never realized what a great thing it is to be able to exercise, right? All right, let's go ahead and I love that because, you know, sometimes just like, you know, what they say about absence makes the heart grow fonder. Well, I guess we can say that the same thing is true with exercise. As long as you don't go too long, because out of sight, out of mind. You sometimes, when you don't exercise, you realize what a difference it made in the way you felt emotionally and physically, mentally through the day. So then when you come back, you're like, gosh, I love this. So thank you, Vicki. I'm glad that is the response that you're having. Okay. I'm glad you're with me, Betsy, because now we're ready to do our side position on the floor, all right? So I want you to come to the handle in front of you. This is for balance, of course. And then what we're going to do from here is we're going to take that back leg and shoot it behind you. And the opposite arm is going to come forward, right? So we're going to go up and back, just up and back. So you're standing on the outside leg and you're letting the elbow and knee come in and out, in and out. Good. Balancing on the standing leg, bringing in opposite hand to knee. Try to stay balanced. Try to keep your posture up. Swing it out. Nice. 4 more. 3, 2. Now hold it up here in front of you. You've got this. And just push up to the ceiling and down. Push the ceiling and lift the knee. It's the same leg, same arm. Push, drop. Push, drop. Beautiful. You've got this. Tall posture. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold it. Balance. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. Walk it out. Walk it out. Turn around. Turn around. Okay. Again, we're going to take that leg that's closest to the board and slide it back so you're stabilizing on the rear or the leg that's furthest from your board. Yes? Arm comes up. Tighten your core and come forward, lift. Forward, out. Forward, out. And you can lean a little bit in if you want. That will help engage a little bit of your core or spinal column muscles. But don't let your posture round. Keep that head up. Keep that chest up. Nice. Slow this down if you need to. 2 more. Last one. Now hold it up. From here we push the ceiling and then we drop. Up, down. Push the ceiling. Drop the foot. Up. 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 Now in today's routine, we're doing cross lateral movement, cross crawl action to stimulate the right and left hemisphere of the brain. I'm starting each pattern on the floor on purpose because we're going to do a natural progression by taking it on the board, but I also let you know that you can stay on the floor if it gets too difficult. All right, now hold it up and balance. Breathe. Hold tight. Tighten your hips, tighten your core. Try to balance on that floor. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. Whew. Let's enter the board on the side position. So step in, grab your front pole, and step up in the middle of your board. Nice. So once again, what we're going to be doing is stimulating the same pattern, but with the board, creating a little more balanced challenge. Tighten up, zip up your pelvic floor, lift your chest and sternum, take the foot that is closest to me and bring it behind you. Let's just stay here for a second and rock a little bit so you kind of get your brain in connection with the fact that you're not on a solid floor surface, but you're safe. It's always important to retell your body that this isn't going to fall over and you've got something to hang on to. So you're okay with a little wobbliness in the ankle or the knee. Just try to find that comfort setting. All right, now again, where did we go with this? That leg came up as the arm came forward and back. Up, back, up, back, up, back. Nice. You really have to work, and you can try to keep the board stable in the middle. Of course, that's going to make it a lot harder than if you put a little more weight forward and lean into it and ground the board. So I invite you to try both. Lean forward and ground the board as you do this. Try to stay more tall and not ground the board. Let's hold them up. Now, push the ceiling drop. Push the ceiling drop. And please, of course, if you want to do this on the floor instead, feel free to. But remember, this is 60 up. So we want to get up on that board and feel the benefits of reactive training from body to brain, from brain to body. 2 more. Hold it. Try to balance it. Now, everybody try to balance in the center if you can. And it's okay if you see it wobbling. That's part of your brain telling your ankle what it needs to do. Proprioception going on from foot, toe to heel to arch, wherever you need to put your weight, and then bring it down. And that leg you were standing on needs to be relaxed, so shake it out a little bit. All right, turn it around slowly. So grab the other pole and just kind of baby steps around. Baby steps around. Come all the way around. And now we're going to repeat this on the other side. So remember, on this, the leg closest to me slides back. Let's just rock a little bit and see how we feel. But just see how your body reacts. See how you've got control through the foot. Your toes and heels are creating that intentional rock. See? So we're intentionally putting pressure into our foot to rock the board versus trying to hold the pressure and stabilize the board, right? Both are good as long as you know what your intent is. Intent. Connect the intent. All right, now let's stabilize and let's bring that knee and arm swinging forward. So forward and back, forward and back. Nice deep breath. Try it grounded forward a little bit. See what it feels like when you're leaning forward just a bit as you do this. Make sure your spine stays long and strong. And then see what it feels like to do this, trying to stay upright and stabilize that work. Do you feel those calf muscles really firing away? Yes, the ankle, the bottom of the foot. Slow this down if you need to. Breathe fluidly. Never hold your breath, even when the going gets tough. Blow it out. When it gets tough, blow it out. All right, hold it. Now we push the ceiling and then down. Push the ceiling and down. Up and down. Oh boy, I don't know about you, but that standing leg is getting tired. Take your own personal breaks when you need them. Keep that core engaged. Keep that head up high. Keep that posture tall. Don't over grip your pole. So many things to think about. That's called multitasking. 4 more. We got it. 3, 2. Now hold this one up. Leg on fire. Try to balance in the center. Try to balance. Try to keep it there. Keep that platter over your head right there. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Carefully turn back to the front. Shake off that leg a little bit. Best way to get rid of that muscle tension when it hits fatigue is to shake it off. Motion is lotion. All right, and then let's go ahead and ground it down to one side to ease off the board and get some water. All right, well-deserved drink. Also, when you are getting water, what's nice is that it allows me to come in and see Betsy. Don't be sorry, Betsy. Got mixed up with who was in the room, but thank you for reaching out. You know what makes these workouts special, especially when you guys chat it up, is that's where we know that we're here together. We're live, we're not Memorex, okay? So do talk to each other back and forth, but don't talk too much. Talk during the water break. Otherwise it means you're talking, not rocking, right? And that's important. Okay, we have one more cross pattern that we're gonna do, and we'll do that from up on top of the board, and then we'll have our nice cross pattern cool down. So I'll show you where not only does doing cross lateral movements stimulate and activate and refresh and reset the brain, they also can calm down and de-stress the brain. Looking forward to that. All right, come on back. All right, so let's ground the board out, step up like normal, 2 to 2, and just get comfortable up here again. Tighten your glutes, lift your core, get your sternum up, get your chin parallel to the floor. These are the things that you want to become autopilot. In other words, you know, when you get in the car, you don't have to stop and think, how do I put the key in? How do I turn it? How do I, you know, these things happen automatically. Most things we do in life are being done subliminally. We've done it so many times that we don't think. Hand into the key, turn right, turn left. We just do it because we've done it so much. So I want you to think about that when it comes to posture and exercise. I want you to get to the point where just automatic go. You go chin parallel to floor, shoulders level, waistband in, knees in the direction of the toes. I want that to be subliminal, not as conscious as when I do an exercise and I say, okay, this hand goes up, that leg goes down. That's where I'm consciously making you connect the thought. But we need a lot of these other things to be going on in the background. So just think about that. Our brain can do it. We've got such a fantastic tool called the brain. All right, now we're gonna center out. And what I want you to do is rock to right, tap, left to pull. Rock to left, tap, right to pull. Let's just do that for a while. Rock, tap, rock, tap, rock, tap. And notice I'm a little wider. I'm at the 2, maybe even 2 1/4. And I'm just really connecting the dots between the crossing, not just the opposite arm leg pattern, but the actual crossing. Now let's see if we can touch the knee instead of the foot. And always know what I start off with might be a little easier on you. So if you want to just stay with the foot, stay with the foot. If you want to try to add a little more activation of those inner thigh muscles, try to tap the knee. And of course, tap softly. These are not designed to create any kind of stress to the joint. So just a little tap is all it takes. Now, adding on, if I were to say opposite action, think about which arm would come up and across. Opposite action, cross lateral, cross crawl. This is the ultimate cross word puzzle for your brain. Nice. Get a little comfortable. Beautiful. Now I want you to continue doing this at whatever pace works for you, and bring your feet in more so to 1 and 1. So now you're closer to the center of the board. If you need to look down, do so. It's a little more realistic to life. We cross swing as we walk, right? Keep going, chin and chest up. Inhale, exhale. Stay tall and lifted. Beautiful. Keep those subliminal cues of posture going. Chin parallel to floor, waist in, chest up, shoulders and pelvis as level as possible. Sense where you are in space. And now let's hold here. Just tap and lift. So I want you to take one side and I want you to do a little rotation in and out towards that knee. The knee is going to cross towards the elbow is going to cross towards the knee. You're grounded. 2 more. Last one. And then let's go to the other side. Ground out, lift the knee. Give me that, I don't know, I think this is a dance move. I think it's called the water sprinkler. Here we go. Crisscross, elbow to knee. Notice that I'm not dropping my chin. I'm not rounding my upper back. And so maybe it's not as high if that's creating too much rounding. Keep it down a little lower or come up higher if you feel you can. So listen to your body. And 3 more and 2 more and last one and bring it back. Okay, good job. Woo! All right, now rock it out. Now we're going to challenge that just a bit. So I want you to step in narrow as you can so that both feet are on either side of that red line in the middle. And just find your balance. This is hard enough just to balance. Now find your balance and lift one heel, then drop it. Other heel, drop it. Try not to let, and you notice, you see my board rocking. It's going to rock a little, but I'm trying really hard not to let either side bottom out. So rock enough where you can get that heel up, but don't bottom out. Keep the chin up, keep the chest up. Now see if you can do a little prance move so your foot actually comes off. Prance it. Try not to bottom out, and then see if that prancing movement can lift higher. That's it. Try not, I think I bottomed out on that side. Nice. Now you're probably going to bottom out on this, but don't worry. Go opposite elbow to knee. See what happens. Woo, that takes a lot of coordination, doesn't it? So of course, feel free not to let go, just to wiggle the fingers on the side that's opposite, or squeeze the fingers on the side that's opposite. If you're finding that trying to lift the hand off is just a little past your comfort zone today, or maybe you say, today is a bright day. Today my brain is so woken up that I'm doing more than I ever have before. 2 more. Last one. Good job. All right. Let it have a little break. Rock it side to side and step a little wider. Okay, last exercise, and then we get that well-deserved relaxation, stress reduction, cool down. All right. So this next one, I like to turn to the side to do it. So I want you to pivot your feet and turn to the side. And I want you to notice that my weight is on the back leg. All right? I'm going to stay on the back leg at first and keep the board so it's flipped up. Then I'm going to take that front leg and I'm going to cross and tap towards the pole, and then I'm going to go out away from me on the floor. So cross and let it just hang. It doesn't touch the floor. So heel, toe. So add the ankle now. Cross with the hip, point with the ankle on the outer move. So heel tap, point toe, heel touch, toe down. And I'm going to turn to the side so you have a better idea. So it's going cross, out, cross, out, cross, out. But I'm standing side, standing tall, cross, out, cross. You'll see why we're standing side in a second. If you want to take this a level further, when you come out, lift the knee. Heel, toe. Let me show you from the front. So it's cross, lift, cross, lift. Heel, toe point, heel, toe point. Good. Stay tall. 2 more. Last one. And again, the leg you're standing on, that was a real isometric dynamic tension working its way into that hip. So you're getting a lot of strength and stability as you're exercising the brain with an ultimate cross pattern on the opposite leg. So now ease yourself around to the other side. Again, bottom out. We're going to be using that outside leg. I always like to start one joint at a time before we put it all together. So the first joint we start with is the hip joint. You just cross and then go out. Don't worry about the ankle. Don't worry about the knee. Just cross and tap towards the red ball and then let it drift to the outside. Just the hip. Now, let's add the ankle. So, heel touch, point the toe. Heel touch, point the toe. So we got the brain thinking while it's crossing the midline, which is stimulating, but it's also having to be aware of the ankle and the hip joint. And then if this seems like you can take it up a notch, lift the knee as you point the toe. Heel, toe down, knee up. Outside. Let me go forward for you again so you can see it. Cross, cross, cross. And the only reason I didn't do this straight up is because the pole gets in the way. So if you want to be on an angle like I am because you want to hold your pole with both hands, feel free. Just cross heel touch, open to the side, toe down. 4, 3, 2, last one. Okay, whoo! Reset to the front. And let's just sway the body side to side. Use the hip, use the knee, use the torso. So that last exercise, one of my favorites, because not only are you getting really good stabilization going in the hip and leg that you're standing on, but so much is stimulated in the brain and that communication between the right and left hemisphere of the brain, which was our focus today, right? Really making those patterns count, making that brain communicate, finding those crossword puzzle type movement patterns that challenge your brain to be its clearest, its cleanest, and its most energized. And also carry over to things like walking gait and also other cognitive skills. So these are all important exercises that go far beyond strength or cardio, but now it's time for a little flexibility. So let's hold down on the right and bring both hands over to that pole. All right? And I want you then to bow back into your hip. All right? You're going to feel a lot of stretching tension behind the right leg. Got it? Hold here. Now unhinge at the hip and turn to face that leg. Now my pressure is still on that front knee a little more. And then I'm going to just bow directly over. You're going to feel a little even deeper stretch in that hamstring. And if you're at a point where you say, I would rather be on the floor, you can do this on the floor as well. All right, now we're going to bend the front knee and push the back. You're still keeping your weight forward. Notice my board is grounded out. It's really down on the floor in the right angle. And then I'm pushing my back heel to the board and I'm pivoting my pelvis so that it is facing my knee. And I'm opening up this hip flexor here. And then I'm just going to bend the back knee up and down, maybe a 2-3 inch range of motion. And I really want you to connect to what you're feeling in these hip muscles. You should feel a stretch. This is not being done as a strength move. It's being done as a stretch move in this front quadricep and hip flexor. Good. Now put the opposite hand to the front leg on your shoulder. Hold your pole with the back on. And then drop the elbow and lift it. So what we're doing now is we're again doing a little cross-lateral stretch. We're stretching the shoulder girdle as we stretch down or bend down into that front knee. Good. Now hold it and just think about rotating. You don't have to go far. Rotating the elbow towards the front knee. Keeping the spine long and strong. Look behind you as long as you don't feel too dizzy. Sometimes that head movement might be too much. Bring it back to the center. Come forward. And let's go back to that nice sway. The whole body is swaying. Hips, knees, torso. Beautiful. Again, at this point of class, if you prefer to be on the floor, you can also do this from the floor. Now hold over here on this one side and stretch over into the hip. You'll feel a little bit in the inner thigh as well. Hold it. Notice that I'm bringing both hands onto the same pole, which creates that cross the body action. Stay there. Remember, most stretches for the purpose of flexibility are held for 20 seconds, 3 to 5 deep breaths. And now let's unhinge. I'm not rounding my back, I'm hinging. So you kind of close like a stapler, okay? Let's unhinge and pivot in the opposite direction. We're grounded out on the left side now. Now go ahead and lean over that front leg. You're going to feel a more direct stretch in the back of that front leg, the hamstring, and hold. Excellent. Take a deep breath. And then come back and push the heel down as you bend the front knee, and then kind of tuck under with your hip. Yes. Now hold the pole with the back or the far hand, so you've got the cross elbow to the front knee, right? Tighten your glute, push your heel down, keep your abdominals pulled in. Remember, those are the things going on behind the cognitive thinking, automatic posture, mind's eye, awareness, and just slowly drop and lift. Remember, this drop is about stretching right here into this hip pocket. Nice. You've got this. You can now take the arm and add that shoulder girdle stretch to it, opposite to the front knee. This whole class, I've been thinking of every way that I can stimulate that cross-lateral focus or action. We're getting those right and left sides of the brain, the hemispheres of the brain, to collaborate, to communicate, and to open up that line of electrical impulse that we use in every action and so many other cognitive skills. Good. All right, now hold down. And if you're comfortable, twist a little bit, elbow towards the knee, and look behind you. Remember that once we add the neck and head, it involves the vestibular system. We worked on that last week. So if it makes you a little too woozy or dizzy, don't do it. But on the other hand, it might be a good stimulation if you can try it and do it. And let's bring it back to the center. Ease yourself into the center mode. Walk the toes and heels in. And then let's come on back, ground to one side and step off. And then from here, if you happen to have a chair nearby, you don't have to, but if you do, let's go ahead and sit down so that, and maybe get some water before you sit down. Hi, Mona. Good to see you today. Thanks for joining me on Wellness Wednesday. If you weren't able to, hey, Mary, good to see you as well. Remember that these are recorded, and so you can usually find them either on the site itself that you're visiting, or you can go to YouTube and just put in 60 up workouts, and in most cases it'll pop it up. All right, let's slow this workout down. So now, as promised, if you missed my intro, our whole focus today was on brain-body connection, and in particular, the communication between the right and left hemispheres of the brain, which are so important for everything we do, basically, but they also can control how we feel, how clear, how energized we feel, as well as how relaxed or stress-free we feel. So now I'm going to take some of these patterns and hopefully bring your stress level and your overall feeling of wellness and non-anxiety, anti-anxiety down. And I know we've all been dealing with so much this last year that maybe was counterproductive in those areas. So I want you to take your arms, cross one over the other, and then place your fingertips up on your shoulders. Now the first thing I want you to do is just give yourself a little neck or shoulder massage. And I want you, as you do this, if you're comfortable closing your eyes, you can, but make sure that if you are, that you still have your mind's eye on your posture. Remember those subliminal things you need to think about, or hopefully not think about, but just do. Head over shoulders, chin parallel to floor, shoulders down, chest up, abdominal wall just a little tightened. Just, I like to call it pulled in or drawn in just a bit. Now, after massaging, and notice if your shoulders are about the same height, start tapping your fingers on both hands. So tap, 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 and definitely close your eyes for a second at least. And just try to focus in on what you're feeling on the top of each shoulder. That nice little tap sensation. And then recognize that the sensation you're feeling on one side is actually being activated by the movement of the fingers from the opposite side. That's mind blowing, right? But don't think too much, just recognize it. Recognize the connection. Now let those fingers tap up a little higher, more towards your neck, and then down a little lower, more towards your shoulder cap, and up. And just bathe yourself in the sensation of relaxation and stress reduction that you're creating here on the 60 Up Wellness Wednesday platform. Now let's go ahead and let those fingers start tapping their way down your arms, all the way down to your elbows, all the way down to your forearms, and then they're going to come together and we're going to swap sides. So the other one is going to go on top, and we're going to start at the shoulders again. Now this time, just let the fingers grab your shoulders and just stretch up and down. And as your elbows come up, tighten around, tighten the waist, tighten it. Inhale and expand the rib cage as they go up. Exhale and compress the muscles around the rib cage and diaphragm as they come down, nice and slow. So inhale, chin stays parallel to floor. Feet in the direction of the knees. Shoulders level as possible. One arm is on top, so it might kind of take that off a little bit. Inhale up, exhale down. One more. All right, let's go back to the massage of the shoulder. Tap, 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 tap. Close your eyes. Sense what's going on. Tap around at your neck. Tap down the shoulders. Start to tap down the upper arm. Tap, tap, tap. Keep those fingers playing. All the way across the elbow. All the way to the wrists. Feel free to open your eyes when you want to. Interlace the fingers. Push through. Drop the shoulders. Imagine somebody had a string attached to your head and was tugging up a little bit, and let those crisscross fingers come up. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Pull it into the chest. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale up, exhale down. Now this time, we're gonna inhale up and off to the right side, just a tad, and then exhale back to the center, stretching those lateral muscles of the body, opposite side and center. Don't forget the breath. Inhale up and over, exhale back. One more, inhale up and over, exhale back. Now release the hands and hold, if you have a chair, hold the chair. If not, interlace behind you. Either way works. And let your chest come forward. So if you're standing, let your chest come forward. If you're seated, let your chest come forward. Tuck the chin down. Lift the chin up. We are finishing off here on Wellness Wednesday. Brain-body connection, April, with the ultimate cross-hemisphere workout today. Inhale, exhale. Now this next time, as we come up, we're going to go off to the diagonal. So diagonal right and back down. Inhale left, exhale center. Inhale right, exhale center, inhale left. Keep your eyes soft or closed. Soft meaning just the lids feel drowsy. Let the lubricant of the eye bathe your eyeball a little bit. Sometimes when we keep our eyes open, especially when we're staring at a screen, they get dried out. So close those eyes and kind of roll your eyeballs around in the sockets. Motion is lotion. I say it all the time, even in the eyeball. Last one. Bring it back to the center. Place the hand on the thigh. Place the other hand on the thigh. Bring the back through to that nice spinal roll that I do standing or seated. So if you don't have a chair and you're choosing to stay standing, which is fine, you would just do like we did in the warm-up. Okay? I like to end in a chair because I just feel it. We've been on our feet. We've been stimulating those leg muscles, especially when we're on board of the 60 up. So I like to give them a little relaxation and break for a job well done. 2 more. Last one. Sitting up nice and tall or standing up nice and tall, feet together, chest up. What are those automatic bullet points that I shouldn't have to repeat? Head over shoulders, chin parallel to the ground, sternum lifted, abdominals drawn in slightly, level, forward and in alignment. Always, always, always in the back of your mind. Take a deep breath up. Pull it together and bring it in, all the energy you just gathered. Bring it into your body, into your heart, and have a wonderful rest of the week. I will be back, same time, boom, boom, same place, Wellness Wednesday. Again, I'm Kathy Stevens, and I'm so happy to be a part of this team and to see you guys there. You're welcome. Ildi, I almost want to add an L in there, and I know it's not. It's Heidi. Heidi, thank you for joining me, and I'm glad you love the stretches. And I'm so glad you guys were able to be seen today by me in the chat box. Yay, Betsy, yes, thank you as well. Thank you all. And I'm sorry if I went a little bit into OT overtime, but so much to get done and so much fun. So again, thanks for being here. Please share the love. Let your friends and relatives know about this membership, this product, and even if all they want to do is check it out for a while, you know, it'd be awesome to see them here in the box and talk with them. Thanks, Mary. Good to have you guys as well. All right, signing off. Thumbs up for all of you. Thank you for being here again today.